Yeah.
Voices in the right tone.
Yeah, we'll keep that in. We'll keep that in the intro. Okay. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
We're good. Okay, we'll do it. Boom. Okay. Okay. So welcome to Southern Perspective, episode 8. This is the holiday edition, shall we say? Okay. So this is a debrief with context of South Glengarry's December 8th, 2025 council meeting. So today with Mayor Lachlan McDonell, we're going to take a look at how South Glengarry is closing out 2025 through development approvals, updated planning bylaws, community agreement, trail safety, improvements, important decisions around winter service levels. So we'll look at, we'll also review the Conservation Authority's budget updates and wrap up some little things with that, with some little seasonal spirit. So we're going to start as so welcome.
Oh, yes,
Let's make it official.
Eight's my favorite number, so that's good. Eight's eighth episode, so it's going to go well.
Oh, okay, well, it'll be good. Okay. So you open the meeting with a holiday proclamation to clear airspace for Santa. So basically, council opened the meeting with a festive proclamation clearing South Glengarry space for airspace on December 24th, 25th to allow Santa. So I need to ask: is Santa clear to cross South Glengarry's airspace without any issues?
Santa is good to go. We have all permissions are given, and he will be arriving for the kids over the evening on the 24th into the 25th, depending on when they go to bed.
So thank you, South Glengarry Council, for doing that and making sure Santa's has no issues to flying over the county.
Oh, well, we're glad to do something for the kids, right? That's
good.
Fun.
Okay, that doesn't cost anything.
That doesn't cost anything. Yeah.
Doesn't cost anything. Okay, so concession 10, the road extension. So the council approved a property owner funded extension of concession 10, the road itself, to provide access to a landlocked parcel. So how often do landlocked access issues come before council like this?
I would say rarely. I don't recall one in my term. And this one is just, there's concession road 10. It's the most northern portion of our northeast border with North Glengarry. And the road stops. It's a green road from there on, but you need, I believe it's 40 meters of public frontage. Okay. So this gentleman has to build the road to our standard, then we'll assume that extra 40 meters. So that's what this is about, but it's a rare thing.
Yeah. It's not something that it's basically to sort of accommodate a new house, or
they're building a house on what was probably formerly just a wood lot.
Okay.
And it had access, but it wasn't formal road access.
Okay.
So you can't build a house exactly.
Okay, that's good. So there was a review of North Subdivision, Lorette Drive. So you recommended draft plan approval for the 24 lot Riverview North Subdivision. Reflecting, strengthened planning conditions, since the original, the 2020 application. So what changed between the 2020 applications and sort of today's updated submissions?
Yeah, well, I don't know specifically what changed, but there are a lot of bills that have changed, building more homes faster, the provincial legislation has really encouraged municipalities to allow building, and then at the same time, occasionally you have different standards environmentally. So this subdivision has to move a municipal drain over, which I think they had planned to do, and we're just happy it's finally coming on board. For those who don't know where that one is, it's Sapphire Hills, Sapphire Estates in that area in Glenwalter.
Oh, so it's close to it's close to the western border. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So your planning bylaws and engineering standards. You updated your site control. So basically graded and drainage bylaws. So you introduced regional engineering and design standards. So do these updates make the planning process clearer for residents and developer? What's the difference between that and what it was before?
Yeah, so residents won't see a ton of difference because most of the things residents develop are under the building permits.
But is that what people would say? Like, this is the new code. This is the new,
well, it wouldn't be a new building code, but it's how you have to build. Like the building code would deal more with the house, and site plan control and grading would be more of the lot. Okay. So it's more on how you shape your lot and you can use your lot. So it's more targeted at developers, making it easy across SDNG. Instead of having North Glengarry is this way, South Glengarry is this way, Stormonts and Dundas as being different, it kind of not perfectly unifies them, but it does create more similar buildings. Not building, like how to design a lot. So you can build one place, you can build them all. Additionally, site plan control and the grading can be done with one, I don't know if it's a professional, I don't know if it's an engineer or a surveyor, but it will cut down on costs for developers in a way that, that you pay for something once, which is something that council has said in their strategic plan, just like make planning a little bit simpler, a little bit more streamlined. So Joanne at our township and with the counties has made it work that way. So we're happy for that, because again, it's, if you're going to spend money, you might as well spend it once right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so the Martintown Good Timers community agreement. So you approved a new 5-year agreement supporting continued use of the Martintown Community Center by the Good Timers group. So what is the Martintown Good Timers group? What are they, and what more or less is this particular agreement?
Yep. So they are probably our most active group. They work out of the Martintown Community Center naturally. They give them the Good Timers. Good Timers, I'd say, would be a group of senior citizens. I believe they have at least 150, but it could be over 250. But it's a large group.
Okay.
They have a shuffleboard, pickleball. I believe they do cards there. They use the facility during the day quite extensively. They have events during the evening, and now we have a formal agreement. There was a kind of one that was the genesis of this group, but it was updated. So now we have clear roles and responsibilities until the next 5 years, which I guess brings us to start in 2026, so it'll take us to 2031. So it's nice that they know what we're going to do, we know what we're going to do, and they continue to give great programming for the, I guess, their age bracket, their demographic, which I think is seniors specifically.
Okay. The Peanut Line Trail speed limits.
Yes.
So there was new speed limits were approved for the Peanut Line, 50 kilometers generally. Yes. And 20 kilometers in settlement and over bridges. So, sort of a question most people would have: how will enforcement and signage be handled on this trail, especially enforcement?
Yeah, I was going to say signage is
signage
is very easy.
Signage is easy. You put the sign up, but how are you going to, or how is this going to be enforced?
I suppose. Excuse my language. I'm losing my voice here. May I clear my?
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Enforcement will probably be the tough one, right? Because it's like speeding into villages.
Yeah.
It's going to, we don't have the resources to do it ourselves, and the OPP likely don't have resources to be up and down that line all the time.
Yeah.
So it will be, I guess, supposed to be like as it is enforced, it will be enforced, but I don't, like, that's a very political answer. So to say I don't know, like it's like speeding. Most people speed and don't get caught. I imagine it will be likewise on this trail, but there are rules to follow now, and the clubs were supportive of them, so we're happy to implement it, I suppose.
So I guess the community per se, the community itself is going to sort of police themselves, with some of these rules. I mean, if you give permission to some of the groups and so forth, I guess they're going to probably try to say, hey, listen, you're a member, slow down.
Yes, I'm sure the Glendalers will have conversations about that. There are rules to this. You don't want to lose a good thing for just a few bad people.
Absolutely.
Bad apples, but I don't want to say people.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a private laneway snow clearing for St. John's Anglican Church. You approved one final year of courtesy snow clearing for the private laneway of St. John's Church, and you ordered a policy review for a future season. So, yes. How is council going to decide future snow clearing policy for private lanes, and why was this exception done this time around?
Okay, this exception was done likely because they came to us and said the cost is quite prohibitive to do it. They received a letter in October, so council kind of took the term that I shouldn't say my father would give me grief over that one, that we would extend it because, sorry, there's a beeping, everything's okay?
No, it's all good.
Okay. So that we will keep it for the year, give them time to figure it out, or us to figure it out. There are a lot of churches, like there's Round Church in Dalhousie Mills, St. Mary's Center in Williamstown used to get plowed, but other councils have slowly taken themselves out of this. We focus more on the roads to get you there rather than the parking lots. This one is a laneway, and Councillor McDonell in particular looked at, can we do cost recovery to do these? For some private lanes we do that, but we're slowly getting into the business of private lanes and focusing more on the roads to get you there. Mm-hmm. I suppose like any church, the treasurer at St. Andrews in Williamstown, If council were to make a policy, I'd have to declare a conflict of interest, because I'm sure I would ask the township to do ours too. Because,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Because,
Well, if you're doing one, why aren't you doing others?
And I think that's the kind of, this was the last one that was remaining of kind of like, I'd say kind things done in that. Like it was a handshake deals in the past. Like we'll do this, and the municipality.
But right now you're going to be reviewing what these are
likely, and how many we have and what the cost recovery would be to do them. Because right now it's free for them. It's just included in taxation.
Okay.
So that's why administration is recommending, because it was just they're the only ones that are getting it. So like what's good for one has to be good for all, right? We can't benefit like a congregation of, I think there was 100 signatures at the cost of 13,000. But if we do them for all the churches, then there's enough numbers to make more sense on that.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to pick on them. I said during the meeting that like looking through that list, there's a lot of our great community volunteers. So it's not a chagrin to them or the church. It's just, I guess, the reality is that we have been since 2010 slowly removing ourselves from these.
Yeah, and especially now if they're for lack of a better term, a last holdout, to say, well, how does the township address this policy wise?
Yes,
right.
Yeah. And our policy does say not to do it, right? So we've directed administration. So the church members were very kind to recognize that too. Like they weren't upset at administration, because it's like this is what council's told us to do, so they're doing it. Yeah. And now we're just looking, okay, this is a consequence, and then reflect from there.
Okay. So county and conservation authority budget updates. So you reviewed the 2026 the county's budget. Yes. And police costs have increased, bridge project have also gone up, and conservation authority operating capital budgets as well too. You've reviewed those.
Yes.
So how do county level taxes increase? Those increases impact South Glengarry residents. I mean, these are other budgets that are not necessarily yours at the moment. Is there a tax or cost increase to come from the counties that is going to be dumped on?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, the counties would make up probably 40 to 45% of our levy. So whatever they tax, it's 45% of what we fill locally.
Okay.
Excuse me again.
It's all good. This is real. It's not AI.
Our taxation would be, say, 40%-ish, and then education would be the other bit. So what? Like you kind of have to. I don't want to get too mathy, because
mathy is fine.
It is like their percentage of what people fill in their pocket is bigger than what South Glengarry's budget conversations would be. So the county's going up 4.48% on the levy has more impact than us going up 4.3%, and education has stayed the same for the last 6 years. Okay. And they represent a portion too. So they call it a blended rate. Okay. Put them together, and then you get it. So yes, that budget had a bigger impact on our township than our own budget.
Okay. So you also probably heard that the Raisin River Conservative, the authority, there's a push at the provincial level to do some restructuring on some of these conservation levels.
Yes.
And of course, this is going to affect. I mean, it's going to affect North Glengarry, South Glengarry. It affects all these things. Water is important, and then for everything. So, is this something that residents should be concerned about? Is there going to be some resolutions to either keep, or like I know that it's it's the same type of thing that happened in early late 1900 to early 2000s when amalgamation came upon. Folks are trying to make things a little more, trying to make things easier, more mainstream, less compartmentalized. So, will this affect how the sort of the water concerns that South Glengarry has, at the moment and in the future, because you're going to a bigger or a further government level,
yes.
Right?
So I do sit on the conservation board, so I have to declare a conflict of interest.
Oh, okay.
I might be biased, but not an official one. But take my opinion with some bias. Would be there's 36 conservation areas in Ontario. Now there's going to be 7. South Nation, Raisin Region. Oh my goodness, there's so many more. The 7 of them are being amalgamated with us. So I would say that. Like I generally favor amalgamation when done right. Oftentimes it's not. We do hope that we can maintain a local presence, in that you can go to your permits, because, and here's my bias, is our RCA actually had 100% effectiveness with their permits, and they turned them around in 6 days, not 6 business days. So even over the weekends, not counting, but that was the average time. So in business days, that would lower. And probably the best conservation authority in all of Ontario in terms of like completion and timeliness, right? So we hope that we're not going to lose service as we amalgamate with, I think there's Rideau Lakes, there's Cataraqui, like it goes all the way to Kingston and then north to like Renfrew area. So that's the area. Previously they were based in watersheds, so the Raisin River naturally. South Nation followed, is that the South Nation River? Is that what's called? Yeah, okay. So it goes up to Ottawa, and so it was all based on where these waters would go. So now there's going to be 7 watersheds, so like main rivers combined into one thing. So you'd hope there would be some administration savings, but you don't know that, and that's sometimes brutal because you have 7 people who are going to be vying for one job. And if I may, and I respect everybody who came from our former like Lancaster Township, Lancaster Village, and Charlottenburg. Yeah. But when those places merged, you had three city administrators, what we now call CO, or managers, and then one became a CEO, one became a clerk, and one became economic development fire. So if they do that, they might not. They'll make more positions to accommodate these people. I don't know if the Ford government will do that, but sometimes whenever you amalgamate, you just make more positions to accommodate the people there. So you kind of have to be a little bit, if you're going to do it right, you have to be very clear in what you're doing. But you hope to keep the local ones. And I think that would be where, if I was pushing it to the citizens, would be advocate that you still have a local spot where you can go get a permit and they know the area, as opposed to having to drive to say,
or someone you can call, or someone you can that will answer the phone and understand the local issue with actually going on. I mean, I've had that I live next to a river, and I've had sometimes when the river was high, and I've had to call, and my call was returned reasonably well, and somebody was there the next day in person to talk to me. And that might be a fear of some of the residents to say that may not happen.
Yes, because the RRCA was is a great conservation authority. It's very responsive and thoughtful and neighborly, and we couldn't miss that. But I would hope that Glengarry County would continue. Like the people who serve here will be charmed by this place and continue to serve as well. But we don't know that, and I think the Ford government, if I'm going to be honest, is they're kind of throwing out the idea and waiting for the feedback, which I find smart, because oftentimes in politics, if you take an opinion and you change your opinion, even if it's factually based, you get called a flip-flopper, which isn't fair, because good information should change your opinion. So I'm hoping that they'll get good information and they'll make the best for what they believe in. Now, do I believe in that? Not necessarily, but that's my bias to the RRC.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So basically, this is pretty much so across all these items. It looks like so Glengarry has had a pretty good 2025. You're finishing on I'm pretty much positive. Next year, I mean, you're in budgets right now. Yes. I guess you're going to be looking at your budgets in early 2026.
Oh, we're ahead of North Glengarry there. We've already done our 2026 budget last Friday.
You have. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, it's one in that category, right?
Yeah, chalk that one up. I don't think we've barbed at Jamie in a while out of North Glengarry.
Okay,
so
they're doing
get your budget faster, buddy.
Okay. Okay. No, that's good. No, he was running off to a budget meeting yesterday, so that's okay. So you're looking at so budget-wise, you're looking okay, and
yes,
and there's going to be an election this year as well too.
That's coming up,
or next year, I should say, very soon, 2026.
Yeah. No, but 2026 budget went well. So South Glengarry's portion will be 4.3%. The counties will be 4.48% the increase. So education goes to 0. So people are likely seeing about a 4% increase in their taxation if nothing changes. Okay. And when you talk about elections, I'll say it again. I don't know which camera. It's that camera. If
that one there.
That one there.
Or that one right there, if you want to look straight at them.
If you have any questions and you're interested in running, I have saved everything. I can go over every agenda and give you my thoughts on the last few years. If you wish to be informed on the thoughts, I can show you my calendar to show you kind of the obligations that you'd be getting into. But I'm very open to anybody who wants to run for mayor, council, or deputy mayor. That I'm willing to give them as much information as I can so they can make an informed decision.
You're still on the fence with it?
Yeah. Well, I guess I lean either. Like there's so many things that you can say. So good to put me on the spot with that one to make it official would be. Like I do lean towards thinking towards mayor. However, a lot can change. Like you never know. Like Casey and I could like things change there. Right now I'm employed by myself, but that could change, and that changes priorities too because you're not as flexible that way. So I guess I'm leaning towards yes, whether it be mayor, deputy, or council. I think the community benefits from continuity of having a mayor, like having Jamie in North now for, is it 3 terms?
Yeah.
Like it is favorable because everybody knows you and is comfortable with that conversation. I would say like, for an example, and I'm not picking on, but MPP Sarazan, who's not our MPP, we have Nolan Quinn.
Yeah.
The first year and a half, he knew he should know me. And then the last 2.5 years, he's kind of like, he knows me. He'll be, hey, how are you? And and that matters, those relationships. So, so I guess that's a political answer to say likely, and exactly where will depend on the situation.
Yeah.
When that moment arises.
No, I agree. Sometimes a few terms do help. You know, they do help. You know, sort of. Once you've got that initial traction, then you help with the smooth ride of a township or a council or whatnot. People know you, and then they also can, you know, it's not oh my gosh, another mayor, you know, we have to break him in, or we have to or we have to, or who's that, or what is he going to be, what is he bringing to the table. Now they sort of know what, you know, they understand what you're actually bringing to the table.
Yes, and it really depends on the environment too, if you don't mind me going on, and because I guess it's not things that are talked about out loud all the time, but Deputy Mayor Lang may wish to become mayor. He's done a great job at Warden, and you never know, Councillor Jaworski may want to step into deputy mayor role depending on time, and Councillor McDonell, I believe he has political ambitions, so like you just never know what, there's so many moving parts, and as I said, perhaps not to you, but I started because the community asked me to, so I will probably survey some of the folks that their opinions matter to me quite a bit, and they'll help inform my decision.
Okay. So is there anything else you'd like to touch on for this 2025 year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that we went on like what's happening next year, that was probably the biggest news on this thing. So I don't think I've said that very publicly. 2025, Merry Christmas. We have our Williamstown's Christmas parade is this Saturday, so tomorrow at 6 p.m. Additionally, I think I saw in my inbox that But I Bin has their festive food for sale. So I believe there's a short time until you have to order that, and that's a good South Glengarry business doing very well. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays to those who don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming in. We really, really appreciate your debrief. You know, people are watching it. Believe me, I see the numbers. Yeah. They are watching it as much as your whole council meeting, so that's a good thing. And we really want to thank the viewers. We want to thank the folks for actually tuning in, for those who do, and we invite those others who can tune in for to this particular podcast and others that we do have. Hopefully you realize that. There is a lot of work involved in doing this, and if you want to become a patron or you want to advertise even on this podcast and say, you know, this is brought to you by, we sort of welcome that as well too. To everybody, remember, if you're going on YouTube, you know, I always say smash the subscribe button. That's what actually sort of gets us, you know, sort of a little bit more traction on the web. We will be back in 2026, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, we will be back.
God willing, of course.
God willing. We thank you for watching, and we thank Mayor McDonald for being with us.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and again, can I just say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, and have a great holiday season. Cheers.